This 14-year-old girl calmly walked into her stepmother's bedroom, raised a gun, and pulled the trigger twice. When police arrived, they found her hiding behind a doghouse in the backyard, shaking uncontrollably and clutching a handwritten note that read, "Dear God, please forgive me. I didn't mean to hurt her." At first, the case seemed simple. A teenage girl had confessed to killing her stepmother. But 3 years later, the truth about what really happened inside that house would turn the entire case upside down and reveal one of the most disturbing acts of manipulation ever uncovered in a family murder. The story begins on March 19th, 1985, in the quiet suburban city of Garden Grove, California. Late that evening, police received a frantic call from a man named David Brown. His voice was panicked as he told dispatchers that his wife, Linda Brown, had been shot inside their home. Officers rushed to the scene and found Linda lying on the bedroom floor with gunshot wounds. She was immediately taken to Fountain Valley Community Hospital, but despite the efforts of doctors, she died shortly after arriving. While paramedics fought to save Linda, officers searched the property. In the backyard, behind a doghouse, they discovered David's 14-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. Her name was Cinnamon Brown. She was trembling, surrounded by vomit, and in her hand she held a note addressed to God, apologizing for what she had done. Almost immediately, the case appeared straightforward. Cinnamon confessed and told investigators she shot Linda after an argument. Prosecutors quickly built the narrative that Cinnamon was depressed, angry, and afraid Linda was going to kick her out of the house, so she decided to kill her. The story shocked the nation. A 14-year-old girl murdering her own stepmother. During the trial, Cinnamon's own father took the stand and testified against her. He described her as moody and troubled, and even revealed that the night before the murder, he had shown her how to use the family's gun. After deliberating, the jury found Cinnamon Brown guilty of first-degree murder. She was sentenced to 27 years in prison and placed in the California Youth Authority due to her age. For many people, the case seemed closed. But one investigator named Jay Newell could not shake the feeling that something about the case did not make sense. Years later, he continued communicating with Cinnamon while she was incarcerated. Eventually, worn down by years in custody while her father lived freely, she told him a completely different story. According to Cinnamon, the murder had not been her idea at all. She said the entire plan had been orchestrated by her father, David Brown. Cinnamon told investigators that her father had convinced her that Linda was involved with dangerous criminals and that those people planned to kill him. He claimed that killing Linda was the only way to protect himself and their family. He also convinced her that because she was a juvenile, she would receive only a light punishment if she took the blame. Investigators soon uncovered disturbing evidence that supported the possibility of a larger plot. Before Linda's death, David had taken out multiple life insurance policies on her, worth more than $1 million. And within months of her murder, he suddenly began living a lavish lifestyle, purchasing an expensive home, several new vehicles, and even a motorhome. Then, investigators discovered something even more shocking. David had secretly married Linda's younger sister less than a year after Linda's murder. As the investigation deepened, the entire story began to unravel. Cinnamon eventually revealed that on the night of the murder, David had gathered her and Linda's sister Patricia and told them, "Get up, girls. We have to do it tonight." According to Cinnamon, David then staged a fake suicide attempt by giving her pills to swallow so it would appear she had tried to harm herself after the shooting. After that, Patricia handed Cinnamon the gun and instructed her what to do. Cinnamon walked into Linda's bedroom and fired the first shot, but it did not kill her. Cinnamon later testified that she could hear Linda crying, so she went back into the room and fired a second shot, which killed her. Both girls later claimed they had been manipulated and pressured by David throughout the entire plan. When the case returned to court, Patricia admitted something chilling. She said she had fallen in love with David and wanted Linda out of the way. During the trial, prosecutors introduced a devastating piece of evidence. Investigators had secretly recorded David attempting to hire someone to kill witnesses involved in the case, including the prosecutor and the lead investigator. The recording destroyed his defense. David Brown was ultimately convicted of orchestrating the murder of his wife and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Cinnamon Brown was eventually granted parole in February 1992 after serving several years in custody. What once appeared to be a simple case of a violent teenage girl killing her stepmother turned out to be something far darker. A father manipulating his own daughter into committing murder, convincing her to take the blame, and hoping the truth would never come out. For years, the world believed Cinnamon acted alone, but the reality was far more disturbing than anyone had imagined.